We are filming in the afternoon. It's still June 18th and it's 2:11 p.m. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is so nice out. It is so sunny and hot, and it's perfect. It's absolutely gorge. It's not even that hot. It feels great. There's enough wind. It doesn't make it too bad. How was your day going? Thumbs up for good. Middle for not so good. Down thumb for shit out of luck. Whatever is your answer. I'm excited and encouraged that this is going to be a fantastic message for you. It is the third video of today. So welcome. I'm Kimberly Ponce. This is the Kimberly Ponce channel. So stupid. And so we're going to talk about what makes a man attractive and a godly man. In righteous ways, and back it up with some Bible verses. It's gonna be awesome, y'all. Chicka chicka yeah yeah. Chicka chicka yeah yeah. Chicka chicka yeah yeah. Chicka chicka yeah yeah. I got chocolate cake. I was gonna try and honestly just like have a little bit, but I don't have a spoon. I accidentally threw it away. I don't know. I just went like a bite. Yeah. It's a lot of things, you know, but I kind of just narrowed it down to 11. It's not really narrowing it down. Enough, you know, it's enough. There are plenty other reasons that make men attractive. These are just mine. Number one, his ability to remain open-minded. Number one, yeah, his ability to remain open-minded. So for me, open-mindedness, like speaking as a lady, it just feels more supportive, I guess, if a man like has a tendency to remain open-minded, because then if like things open up or change, it kind of feels like there's more likeliness to see flexibility from both people in the relationship if the man is remaining open-minded on a kind of perpetual timeline. It probably means he's less likely to be judgmental too if he's just getting to know a gal. And it also likely means that he's like intelligent, because people that are generally open-minded absorb more knowledge, so more willing to. You know, it's a sign of intelligence. Personally, I see it as a sign of intelligence if a man is more like has tendencies to be more open-minded. Yeah. And two, and like, I don't know if you've ever seen Tangled, but the main guy, I forget his name, he totally has a smirk and like a smolder, you know. He has like they have this whole scene where he like pulls out the smolder and the girl's like, that's doesn't really work on me. And then like, but it's like an undeniable, like authentic facial expression that's like, it's not cocky. It's like very, you know, that it's like, that is the personality. Like whenever I see a man or a woman smiling with dimples, like that's like tells me a lot about, like, I don't know, it's like that's their smile. So when a guy has like an authentic smirk, you know, that's like undeniable, like authenticity. That's like, to me, that tells me character. Yeah. It's like character. And what is character? Like, why is that attractive? It's because you don't, you know, want to, as a lady, you don't want to be with a gentleman who hasn't seen a lot of adversity. And everyone's life has their own issues, granted. So where does character come from? It's from overcoming adversity. And it just kind of, you see it in the person in that attractive way, like the smirk, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's like one of a kind. It's like, you can see it and you can recognize it any time of day with your eyes closed. You could recognize like that person's smirk. Like, it's very authentic. It just says a little bit of like that person also doesn't take, like, that kind of man doesn't take things too seriously. You know what I'm saying? I love you. And that's cool. That's cool. You want, yeah, like that's kind of like the guy you want, the gentleman you want is kind of, yeah, like open-minded and like flexible and like has that character, so they know how to handle if a challenge comes up. Like, you're on your way, you two are on your way to a resort or like some type of anniversary, and the tire goes out. The tire gets flat. You got a flat tire. It took 3 tries to try and say that, but I got there. Does he freak out when it happens, or does he like remain calm and just kind of like problem solve? Like, men love to problem solve, from what I've experienced, and solve the flat tire and pull out the extra in the trunk and just pull it out and maybe, I was gonna say crack a beer, but no, don't do that. Well, it's just like pull out the extra tire and crack a few jokes and with your partner. Like, are they, you know, do they let things like this get the best of them, or is this just like a little blip on the radar, and in fact it's like their pleasure to do it. Like, they feel like I feel like personally men love to be able to solve these problems and be the one to fix if something does occur in an event. And so like you want a guy that's got that ability to be who he is amidst persecution, amidst discrimination, amidst adversity, amidst everything. That smirk says so much about how they balance joy and pain at the same time. And it's just his character, and there's nothing else like it. Number 3, his faith in God. His faith in God. We talked about what makes a woman attractive just like last video, earlier, like, you know, around 10 a.m. or so, or whatever, the second video of today. And the third on the list for that one too is faith in God. Number 4, his loyalty to her. Number 3, number 4, like, both of those are about being in the yoke. Look at that chocolate cake, you guys. I'm gonna use the bottle cap as the spoon. Just really want like one bite or two. Number 3, number 4 is like his faith in God, right? Number 4 is his loyalty to her. And number 3 and number 4 are about like being equally yoked. So yeah, you want your partner to have faith in God just like you do. That way you're equally yoked. Oh my gosh, that is so good. I can't wait to eat that when I get home with an actual spoon. Oh, I'm excited about this 5th one, you guys. This 5th one is totally, it's totally spot on. Oh, I love this one. I'm so excited, you guys. Thanks for being here. We're on to the 5th reason. What makes a man... What? Oh, yeah. The power of masculinity and, like, what makes a man attractive, right? Honestly, it is the most attractive thing when a guy, a man, a gentleman has the ability, and you see it, like right in front of you. He legit has the ability to instill confidence in others, and you see it right in front of you. You see, like, he's a leader, right? I mean, you know, kind of cheesy, but you can teach a man to fish. That saying, teach. Lead a horse to water, and then I don't think the idioms are going to come through today, so I'm not going to reach for them. But you can, what I'm trying to say is, you can see that he teaches others to teach themselves. And I think it's so funny that I just crack myself up. I'm sorry. It's like sometimes, like, it's just funny. But when it's like hot, when a guy is able to, like, you see that he teaches the younger boys, like, how to be a man. Like, you see that in small ways. When a man is raising a family, he's conscientious of how what he does is what the younger men of the household will follow. And suit how the man of the house talks to the women is how the younger gentleman in the household will follow and speak to that woman in the same conduct that the man of the household speaks to the woman in. He is the example. So a man that leads by example, that's like legendary. Like, it is. It's like, it is. I knew I should have picked up a Gatorade. I'm like a little parched, and I think a little, like, I've been in the sun and like trying tricks on my board. I got it down. I got a couple of tricks. Well, just one trick, but I did it a couple of times. But yeah, I could feel like maybe get some hydration pretty soon. But I love to play and be outside and sunshine and getting exercise and sweating. I love it. It feels so good to be in touch with my body and be coordinated, and like I'm trying the move where you're like dancing on your it's like a longboard, so I'm trying to dance on it. Well, not dance on it, but you know, it's called dancing, where you just like cross and then spin around, and it feels cool longboarding backwards. But it's like you gotta trust. Anyway, I'm I really like my lifestyle. But the sixth thing that makes a man attractive in a godly way is he's soft but like assertively firm. So when he's being a leader and getting his house in order, so to speak, the way the way he offers and gives out the instruction is soft, but it's so subtly powerful because it's assertively firm. A man has more respect from everybody in the room, doesn't need to raise his voice for everyone to hear. Yeah. Alright. Number 7, his authority speaks for himself. So, yeah, like, you can think about a couple of men in your life right now that whenever they come into the room, like, for some reason it just kind of shifts the energy, and like this is what I love to talk about too. This is what I love to talk about. Is like, I'm serious, you guys, gender politics and energy and like energy. Like that is the power of masculinity. It's awesome. It's like sometimes men just like come into the room and it's like you instantly feel safer and things like that. Like that's like why we have separate, but well, I don't know if it says in the Bible separate but equal, but we have separate tasks that for all creatures, or it was like that one specific verse. It was like separate tasks that fulfill all creatures. So even though we have separate tasks, each task that we fulfill individually as a man or a woman, those tasks fulfill what needs to be done as like a role, and it's perfectly whole in and of itself. So they're as fulfilling as the other task. They're just as fulfilling as the next task, regardless of which gender fulfills it, because it's not about man or woman, it's about fearing God. And each task that is executed by man or woman fulfills all creatures on earth. Once I really understood those passages, it's helped a lot. It's helped a lot with my understanding and opening up my knowledge and having a broader, like comprehension of why genders interact the way they do, and why males and females interact the way they do, and why do some dynamics play out in relationships, and what are the patterns there, and what does that go back to, and is it good or bad? It's like so interesting to talk about. So thanks again for being here. We got his ability to entertain as the 8th reason. A guy who can entertain, that shit, like that shit, like it sounds like that's so much fun. Like a guy who can like entertain, and that can be like hosting a party. Like that's kind of like what I initially I guess thought of, or like just like he can carry a conversation, like he's like a fun guy. He's not gonna freak out. He's like a cool guy. Sometimes a person is such a good person, just having them around is what makes all the world of a difference. Those are the people you want to keep. And like that's like, so this guy who's like that, like he can just like naturally be entertaining, and then that's like also very charismatic and magnetic and gregarious, fun guy to be be around. Yeah, that's definitely attractive. A man comfortable in his skin and puts others at ease in that kind of gregarious manner. You know, that's great. That's great. That's really great for everybody. That puts everybody in the whole household at ease. That's the power of masculinity. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, this is like so much fun to talk about, you guys. And number 9, what makes a man attractive is his interactions. So, honestly, what makes a person interesting is how they interact in the world. But if you were able to, like, you know, kind of people watch, and like if you're like people watching and like you see men, did I just hear like something on my laptop? Did it just make a noise? No, I don't think so. It's all good. Okay. We're at 21 minutes. Dang. Okay, so yeah, his interactions with others, like you can tell a lot about a person how they interact with others. Number 10, his ability to speak in a distinct love language. So yeah, like men that different things, the way they do it, you can tell like that means they're fond of you and thinking of you and wanting to protect you. Like you can feel different touches and like the different energy, and like one day it's like a little bit more about like, you know, like you can feel like the different like energies and touches and like love languages from different people, and the way that have different mannerisms or different gestures and you know, different ways of letting them know that they love you and are showing affection. But men do it in a lot of different ways than like women kind of like, you know, like a man asking you if you've eaten today is kind of his way of saying I love you. A man asking if you're going out that night and he sees you and there's no cardigan and just like kind of like a tank top, he'll be like, do you want a jacket for later? Like that's a man. Men don't always say I love you, but they just love, and that's what I think is like, and then they do that through their actions, and you see that, like, do you have a jacket for later? One time my roommate went all the way back to the Bronx and got me a sweater, and then I was warm all the way back home. And so men, if they care about you, they'll go out of their way, they'll find a way to connect with you and show you in their own distinct love language that you're that priority, you're that important boo in their life. And they have different you know, there's plenty of ways to communicate love that aren't verbal. Ask you if everything's going, is everything going okay? He notices you're a little bit quieter. Like, I think we trip up as females sometimes, like myself included, about like hearing the words. Like, and I think women, tend to be more vocal when it comes to that or something. But men will do those protective and providing things as a way to ensure your safety and protection, and that's his way of knowing he's actively loving you. And of course he'll say I love you, but it's like a much more selective, I feel, experience for men and an opportunity, save for like an anniversary or like more special moments when there's kind of a unique experience happening. But men will always show you that they love you by basically showing up. That's, yeah. And the last is 11, his constant eye for safety and having like an ear and eye constantly for safety. That's what makes a man attractive. That's the last reason. The 11th. It's like almost, I wrote down, acutely paranoia about safety. And like, not really, but like, they're so like on alert and ready to be the protector at all times that like that's just like one of their like sixth instincts, and it comes naturally, and that's like really attractive because you want to feel safe, and that's like one of the best parts of finding a spouse is like you can have a little bit of self-assurance of safety and protection, and like an arm around your shoulder if it needs to happen. If like something happens, like they're keeping an eye out. Like if they're raising a family and they see the older brother pushing the two younger girls, and the man of the household sees like that the two younger girls are like starting to swing in a way that they might like bonk heads, like the dad is, or like the man of the household, like the leader, the man like leading by example, is always keeping an eye out for an ear or two, like an eye in the back of their heads even as well, eyes in the back of their heads as well, always acutely aware